Welcome to another video. I got back from Los Angeles just a few hours ago. Oh my God, what a night. My mind is blown. Definitely let me know in the chat room if you're watching this live or if you're watching in the replay. Let me know in the comment section if your mind is blown. Also, let me know you actually went to the event and what your impression was. But this was amazing. I have so many things to show you guys, so many things to tell you. So here's how we're going to do it. Today, we're going to talk about the Roadster because it stole the spotlight. That's what everyone's talking about. But tomorrow we're going to talk about the semi truck because, after all, this was a semi truck unveiling event. I don't know if you guys still remember. And I think a lot of people forgot how many amazing things were unveiled about the semi truck. I know it's not as sexy as a Roadster, but the technologies that were unveiled are absolutely amazing, and they actually mean a lot to people in this space of electric cars. So we will probably benefit from that. So let's talk about the Roadster. By the way, if you're here for the first time, welcome to the channel. My name is Alex. If you are interested in staying up to date with everything that's going on in the world of electric cars, and if this week proves anything that there is a ton, please go ahead and click on that subscribe button and the bell notification icon so you can join our community. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about the Roadster. And by the way, let me show you and let me remind you that this is what it all got started with, right? This was the last tweet from Elon talking this whole event up, right? And I was a little bit concerned, I have to admit, that, oh my God, you're pumping this up so much that you will build the expectations that you cannot beat. And I think he did that anyway. I mean, he beat all of our expectations and more. And I think everyone's got their little treat, basically, right? Everybody wanted this, a semi truck that goes this far, and a pickup truck, and a Roadster. Everybody got their gifts. And so here comes the Roadster stealing the show. Roadster 2.0. If you guys remember, it all started, they went back to the roots. It all started with the Roadster, the original Roadster that was made out of the what was it, a Lotus Elise body, and the Tesla technology went into it, and this is how it all started, right? So they went back to their roots and came up with this thing, which is amazing. We're going to talk about the stats in a second, but so I'm just going to show you some of the behind the scenes footage, what it looked like from my angle, because as you can see that there is let me actually show you the bigger portion of it. So as you can see, this is I was in like 4th or 5th row. There were so many people there, maybe 2,000 people, including the trucking industry, including the media, and there were some celebrities. So I'll tell you all about it on Sunday, but as you can see, it was just a big party. I don't know, let me know in the chat and in the comments if it looked as awesome on the live stream from Tesla as it looked really for us here on the inside at the party. So just the way they've created the show. And I know that some of the staff told me that they had a few runs the night before. They showed me some videos and pictures from it that was really cool. They really put a lot of thought into it. It was beautiful. From the area where we were kind of waiting in the beginning and mingling, to the tunnel that we went through, to the test rides later on, and obviously the presentation was absolutely amazing. Really in contrast, if you think about it, to the Model 3 presentation that a lot of people, including myself, thought were kind of okay. I don't know how it looked on the live stream, but that Roadster just goes so freaking fast. It's absolutely unbelievable. Some people, they would let us test drive the Roadster unless you put the reservation on it, and I think it was $5,000, then another $45,000 in the next 10 days. But if you want a Founder Series or a Signature Edition, then you have to pay the whole $250,000 up front. So as you can see, this is right now you're seeing the after party, and this is where they also had another version of it. I don't think it was actually moving one, so I'll show you full screen. This wasn't, oh sorry, it froze for a second. This wasn't a, there was nothing inside really, but it was another mock-up of the car. I mean, the pretty real one. So this is in gray, and I thought it would actually look pretty awesome in gray as well. I'm sure they have other colors. So it I, I'm still so excited about it. I couldn't really sleep last night too much because it was just 8 hours of excitement just being there. And as you can see, these were the test rides. So people who got to test drive them are, people who either going to be probably getting them for free, like Ben and maybe even Eric, and people from like bigger YouTube channels, or the people who put up all of that money. As you can see over there, the guy who was kind of hanging around there was Franz, the head designer of Tesla, who was there from the very beginning. He designed the Model S. You will see him in a second in that shots. He was also giving some tours of the semi truck, so there he is, and I'll show you that tomorrow when we're going to be talking about that. Here are some of the pictures of that Tesla posted, and this is off of their media kit. This is what it looks like inside, which, I looked inside. It's pretty cool. I mean, it's pretty cool. The display is almost flat. Kind of reminded me of Lucid Air's display. And this is the way it looks on the back. I hate to say it, it reminds me a little bit of what is it? What was that? The Mitsubishi Eclipse, right? So, but I thought it looked pretty good from all sides. This is what the wheel looks like, and for those of you guys who don't know, and I was literally told myself that this is actually not that futuristic. I thought, wow, it looks like we're gonna be driving in like a spaceship. Actually, in exotic cars, that's what I guess it looks like nowadays. I'm not a big expert, so that's pretty cool though. This is another shot that I got from myself from the event, and this is a picture from that mock-up car that's pretty realistic. So just like I said, Ben got a ride in the Ben from Teslanomics. He got to ride in that car. This is me talking to him. I interviewed him about it, and unfortunately, I can't even show it to you guys because YouTube will take that down most likely because they were playing music all the time, and there are a few videos of other YouTubers who were already taken down because that music is copyrighted, and even though it was in the background, you can't do it. But this is me talking to Ben about it. He said that, and I think you can see that video on his channel. He already posted it earlier today, where his camera flipped up because it was so ridiculous. And everybody who I talked to said, like, P100D experience is ridiculous, but this was even more ridiculous. So it's kind of like it just topped everyone's expectations, and I'm speechless. So, but let's talk about the actual stuff. Let's talk about the actual numbers that blew everyone's minds, right? The Roadster, it's pretty, it's red, and all of that stuff. That was great, but think about it. 620 miles. So Elon was right. You can go from here, from San Francisco Bay Area to Los Angeles and back without having to charge. Normally you charge a couple of times, like my Model S, I'll have to charge a couple of times just to get to Los Angeles. The fact that you don't have to do it at all, that's amazing. Obviously, the battery size is 200 kilowatt hour, which is doubling of what they pretty much had for the last, year or so. And remember, they started with 85. So this is amazing progress that they've made. And most importantly, it looks like, it fits in a small car. So that means that obviously they probably, I'm going to assume they stacked them double, because people said, and you could easily tell that that car is not as low as a lot of Roadsters. So I'm assuming it actually double stacked the batteries. But even then, it's amazing that they can fit in the car, that the weight is not as probably as heavy as the previous version. So that is mind-blowing. Fastest production car ever. As a matter of fact, this is very close to just what's possible humanly to produce a car, to go that fast. I mean, there are limitations to what's possible physically, right? 250 plus miles an hour, which is great. I mean, this is, for electric cars, definitely great, but I really don't know, unless you're really racing it. I'm not sure if too many people care about, but that is a big deal. But the fact that, so we're going to talk next week about what this really means for us, the people who buy regular Teslas, the non-$250,000 Teslas. I see Gabriel in the chat says $250,000 is too expensive. Well, for me it is, and for you probably it is as well, and most people will not buy it. But for some people, and not for Ben, by the way, it's not expensive at all. I don't even know if he will have to pay tax, but he'll definitely get it for free. And I know a few other YouTubers who've been promoting their referral code which I haven't, but they haven't, so they're probably going to get it for free as well. And they'll tell us all about it in 2020 when the car actually will see the light of day. So that's exciting. Let's see. I'm just looking in the chat. A lot of people are saying that their mind is blown as well. Well, why don't you guys tell me what it is? That's one thing that blew your mind about last night. I would say it is the range for as far as the Roadster is concerned. For me, it's range. I mean, I don't care as much about the Roadster because I'm not a sports car kind of a guy, but that means that the next generation of the Model S and Model X and the Model 3 are all going to basically put this whole range anxiety issue that we all had completely to bed. That no one can drive more than 600 miles in a day anyway, so it is going to be over. And I think Elon said it right yesterday, because he basically said we just wanted to give, what did he say, a big smackdown to the gas industry, and I think they just put him out. I mean, this is it. There is no more, oh, how can you get to LA? How can you drive this car? It is over. Don't forget also, and we're going to talk about it tomorrow because he mentioned it, Elon mentioned it when he was talking about the semi-truck, but the mega chargers. The mega chargers that can charge the battery 400 miles per, 30 minutes, he said. That's going to be there at some point in this car. When it does need to be charged, in half an hour, it can go, 2/3 of the whole battery. So it is definitely exciting. It's definitely pushed Tesla way beyond everybody again, because it looked like people were kind of, a lot of companies were catching up, and now it just completely left everybody in the dust, except for the self-driving. Because one thing that a lot of people were kind of wishing for is maybe a next level, or maybe even level 4 self-driving features. That did not really happen. As you guys know, I can see somebody mentioning in the chat about Model Y. That was my hopes, because I was kind of hoping that they were going to do this for the masses and not for 0.001% who will get the Roadster or a semi-truck. But I think mega chargers will be available for everybody, not just for the semi-trucks. Let's see. Bob in the chat room says 200 grand isn't bad compared to what you get in value. That is true. There are cars for $2 million, like some of the Lamborghinis, Ferraris, and Bugattis that cannot go as fast. Ticoli 100 says, Elon certainly dropped the mic after that update. I think she should have actually done that during the presentation like that. Jaden Jaden Tech asks a good question, which I don't know the answer for. We'll probably find out soon. Is the new Roadster self-driving? So he didn't mention anything about it yesterday, but I'm going to assume yes. Why wouldn't it be? Though at the same time, why wouldn't you want? I mean, if you're driving a Roadster, you like driving, right? So why would you want an autopilot in that car, unless you're stuck in traffic? But I'm sure it will be available. Not sure how many people will actually would want it. Yeah, let's see. Someone else, Jaden Texan, when will the Model Y be revealed? Well, that's the big. I mean, I can imagine that wouldn't be the next thing that Tesla will have to unveil. But somebody in I think in the comments yesterday or the day before did have a good point, saying, if they're going to unveil the Model Y, then the Model 3 reservations might, like a lot of people might leave and go for the Model Y, and they don't want to do it just yet. So I kind of have to agree. Jaden Tech again says the range is impressive. I agree. Incapacitate says, blew my mind that the semi is quicker than my car. Yeah, that semi will be quicker than a lot of cars without the load. Pradeep in the chat says, do you know about the batteries for the Roadster? Probably not more than you guys. I mean, it's not like they were telling us some information you guys didn't know. Tomorrow I'll share some information about the semi-truck, because I got to sit myself in the seat, and I also talked to some of the people from the trucking industry, so I can tell you about that. I can also tell you about what was happening behind the scene, but there are no specs that we know who went to the event that you guys don't. So what you know is what we know at this point. Let's see. Bob says, personally, if I had $200,000 for a car, I would spend it on the Roadster for more value and less money compared to the Lamborghinis. Yeah, but don't forget, it's not here yet. You have to. Everyone is just gonna have to kind of hold their breath for like 2.5 years until they actually make it, right? Frontline Soldier says this solves all the range issues. Can go from mobile to Orlando, drive around town for a week before I need to recharge. Yeah, I mean, you can literally, if that's going to be the range on other cars, which I'm sure it will be, you don't have to charge for like a week, and that kind of makes it that way you don't really even have a charger at home. You can just charge once a week somewhere else. That totally changes the game. I don't think I even thought, and a lot of people haven't even thought this through, what are the things that are going to be changed by this. But the next week on Monday or Tuesday, I'm going to catch my thoughts. My mind's going to be, the blown mind's going to go back, and I'm going to tell you guys what I think is going to actually, what is going to mean for us, the common folk who just want to buy another Model S or a Model X or a Model 3. So yeah, guys, this has been an amazing experience, and Tesla is once again ahead of everyone pretty much in every single category, and it's literally killing the gas car. And I think yesterday was really the day when that happened, when we can start counting down when the gas cars are going to just die, basically. So that's all I have. That's all I have for the model, for the Roadster. Tomorrow, let's talk about a semi truck. I'm telling you guys, there's so much more to talk about. Oh my god. And I'm not even sure if I'm going to tell you about sitting in the driver's seat, because that's a whole different story in its own. I might make a different video about that on Sunday. Definitely come in. I want to hear more about what you guys think about everything, the Roadster, and just the event itself. So we'll have a longer hangout as we usually do on Sundays, and then I'm also actually going to visit one of the superchargers, the largest supercharger in America. I'm going to visit it tomorrow and also do a video about that. And on Monday or Tuesday, we're just going to analyze everything and what this really means for us. So that's pretty much it from you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I will see you tomorrow at 11 a.m. Pacific time. So I'm going to do it relatively early so everybody can kind of discuss it throughout the day, and also noon on Sunday. Thank you once again for joining me. Click that thumbs up if you don't mind, if you enjoyed this stream and this video. Other than that, I will see you guys next time. Until then, don't forget to stay charged.